Hello, my friends. Good morning. I'm just going to do a real quick sweep here and tell you all the things that I save uh, for my challenge to try and collect 2,000 pounds of items, uh, perishable things, things that are not perishable, that I put into recycling, and that recycling that goes into our garden to build up our soil. And one of the big things is we do coffee grounds, and we collect it's almost 2 pots of coffee, and it equals just over a half a pound of coffee grounds every day. So if you think that's 180 pounds right there. And we also do a lot of fruit and vegetable peels, strawberry tops mainly, and banana peels. These are frozen, so they look really like, is that really a banana? But you can see. Sweet potatoes. Some people actually eat their sweet potato skins, and we don't. I scrub them really well, but we still don't eat them. And so that goes in. And of course, everything else that you would think of, even things like onion peels and avocado pits. Um, I've said this before, I've done a video on it, and you can take these avocado pits. Of course, the actual shell is recyclable as well. But if you take these and you chop them in half, in a quarter, an eighth, and run boiling water over it, it makes a really nice tea for humans to drink. I do add a little sweetener to it, but it has a real nutty flavor to it. Very good. The onions as well. If you have onion skins or the tail end or the head of the onion and you soak it in water, it's really good for your plants. Now, you can send this right back to your worms. If you have worms, you can put it in your compost if you have a compost. But you can also soak this in water. I use rainwater, but you can soak it in your water. Let the water sit for a day or so. Put your peels in there. Let them sit for a day or so, and then use that water. It leaches out the nutrients, and you can water your plants with it. And I also save my corn and pea. Hang on just one sec. I'm back. Uh, we eat canned corn, canned peas, and we get the one that has no salt added. And that liquid, I don't count it in my weight, but that liquid is great for your plants. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll just take my sprinkling can. I have a 2-gallon sprinkling can, and I'll add that to my sprinkling can and water my plants. Now, also, eggshells. Eggshells are just great for your soil. Now, I do crumble mine, and then I put them in a grinder. And whether you grind it up really fine or so fine, I give it to my worms so they have grit, because worms don't have teeth. They have a crop and a gizzard. They don't have a stomach to chew things up, and that really helps grind things. It's getting to be that time of the year where the pine cones are falling, and if you have pine cones, if you can run over them with your lawnmower, wonderful. If you can't, uh, you know, they do break down. It takes a few years, but they do break down. I also save my paper, my toilet paper rolls, my paper towel rolls, all of my papers. Rick was in the hospital last month, actually, and I saved all the papers. Every time I went in and washed my hands, I used those papers to open the door so that it puts me in one step away from the germs of people who are coming out, wiping their hands, wiping their nose, and then reaching for it, or worse still, going to the bathroom and not washing their hands. So I save all that. My cardboard. I used to take these and put them all through through my grinder, through my shredder rather, and I found that I was doing this a lot. You know, everything had to be peeled, and I was taking these off. If I use this outside, I lay it around my plants and recycle just like a box. Well, you can do that if you wish, but I take all of this and I put it back in my garden. Then I don't care if I've left this on. So try to make it a little easier on yourself. Now I still will peel off heavier things that I don't want to go out in my garden, but some of these things, they break down in the garden. 2 weeks later, 6 weeks later, I don't even see it. It's broken down. Now on the other side, I have any cereal boxes, any things like crackers, anything from your pantry. It's just wonderful. I want to see where I'm going to be. So let me just come around here and talk to you. Hi. Hi, everybody. Let me just move this and come and sit and talk to you. It's Sunday, October 5th. September 5th, we were on our way to the hospital. Actually, we were at the hospital at this point, and it's been one hell of a month. But we're getting back to it, as you can see by the fruit. Thanks. My mushroom coffee. And so we're gonna make this as slow, as short as possible. My goal is to take 2,000 pounds away from throwing it down the drain, putting it in a smelly trash can, just trying to keep anything that goes to a municipal dump site 2,000 pounds less, and putting it in my garden and growing my soil 2,000 pounds more. Make sense? It does to me. We still recycle things. Nothing that you see on this table, but metal cans, glass, aluminum, newspaper that, you know, like envelopes that have windows to them, cellophane windows, those just go out. I could, if I wanted to be really anal about it, I could peel those off and then use the other part of the paper, but I can only take it so far. But we now have, my elm tree is starting to drop. And I've mentioned this in previous videos that in years past I used to look at that and go, oh, those elm leaves, they're such a pain in the rear end, they're everywhere, and I have to keep sweeping them up and throwing them away. Last year I decided to switch my view and go from negative to positive, and thought, oh, those elm leaves, they're like gold. And I saved them, and I kept them in bins that a neighbor was throwing away, those big 40-gallon things that you put up in your attic, you know, pack it full of stuff and put it in your attic. And by the end of the season, because it starts dropping now, it's a deciduous tree like you folks up north have. You know, our palm trees stay year round. We have evergreens that stay year round. But an elm, a Drake elm, has little bitty leaves. I'm sorry I didn't bring any in, but little bitty leaves are only maybe an inch, inch and a quarter, and a little oval thing. It's very pretty. And so the lectin in it must be very low because they break down very quickly. If you have things like magnolias, some of the live oak trees that have a small leaf but it's really thick, then the lectin in it must be very high because it takes forever for them to break down. So anyway, there's all different ways of looking at things. You know, if you look at it as to how can I use this versus how can I get rid of it, marvelous. So I've done it 2 years in the past, 2023 and 2024. I've made my goal each year, and this year I was a little iffy because Rick had an operation, very serious, and I had 10 days where I was just at the hospital. That was it. And then brought him home on the 10th day, and for the past 3 weeks now, it's been 31 plus days, I'm kind of tied to his hip. And I'm trying to take a step back here and there and say, okay, well, I think you can wash your own dishes, or I think maybe you can make your own scrambled eggs. You can figure out things. And trying to get him a little bit more used to being on his own and taking care of himself, and allowing him to have the confidence and security of knowing that he can do it again, because he tires very quickly, just very quickly. And so I have a hair or something that's attacking me. I can feel it. Sorry. So anyway, so it's been kind of a tough September. I'm hoping that we can get back to normal very soon. Something's got me. What is it? Anyway, this is week 40. Whoa. We're in the fourth quarter. I feel like a football game, a football player, announcer. But this is week 40. And last week I did 87 pounds, and I went, oh my God, I've got this made in the shade. Well, this week I did 28 pounds, 3.9. And so it brought it up to 1,579 pounds and change. And so I still have about 420 pounds to do in 12 weeks. And so, I've got to up my game. And we'll see. Maybe those elm leaves will really, support the system here. And so that was all I wanted to say. Why am I doing it? I'm doing it to try and save my little spot in the world. That's bottom line. That's it. If you feel that way and you feel that there's something you can do it. I think it's, no matter what your age. I'm 75, and having gone through this hospital experience, I can't tell you how many people my age are either walking with a walker, a cane, or they're dead. Or you get questioned. Everyone who came in that room to talk to my husband said, do you fall often? Not, have you ever fallen? Have you ever fallen and hurt yourself? But do you fall often? And, you're asking somebody who's on morphine, and he's just, his head's spinning. And so I wonder the answers that he was giving if I wasn't there. And my answer was, no, we don't. The last time I hurt myself was probably about 15 years ago. I was up on an 8-foot ladder, and I was almost at the top, and when I came down, I forgot about the last step, and I came down thinking I was on a 6-foot ladder, and when I came down, I really came down hard on that leg and kind of popped my hip out, and I've had a little trouble since then, but you do what you can do. So anyway, I hope you'll join me. I truly do. Do what you can and save your little spot in the world. So we're aces ahead, and even if I stopped now and said, well, gee whiz, I might not make it, but I'll be damn close to it. So I hope everybody has a wonderful Sunday. If you're celebrating something, I hope you do. Take care, everybody. God bless you, and remember, garden what you've got. See you soon. Bye-bye.